Welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Evil Wizard, and we are playing Steve Jackson's Sorcery today. Now, I checked out the spellbook a little bit more, and if we would have done that before, like we should have, we would have realized that the trader here in this little village offered a few spell ingredients or potential spell ingredients. The jewel and the teeth in the bag, namely. Now we have a spell that requires giant's teeth. Let me flip to it. Bamboo flute. This one we have. This one we can do now, which makes our enemies dance, I suppose. And this requires a giant's tooth and would summon a giant to fight for us, to work for us. Now the teeth in the bag, we were never shown them, and they were like, we were never told what kind of teeth they actually were, but they could have been giant's teeth, or it could just have been a ruse to, swindle us out of our money, but worth the risk, I think. The other thing is the jewel, which was extremely expensive. It was not specified what kind of jewel it was, but it was very glowy, so that leads me to believe that this could actually have been, well, not a jewel of gold, but I guess it could have been one of those two. Where did we have the other spell? Jewel-studded medallion, sun jewel, this one here, which would have allowed us to cast a blind spell or use the glow to our advantage to have a light source. Now we missed out on both of these, but we may be able to come back to the trader at one point or another. At least he hinted at that. Now let's continue on our journey, shall we? Striding past the outlying huts, you sent the villagers rushing indoors to hide. Then, at the edge of town, you pass a large boulder, and at once two rough-cut villagers spring out with swords drawn. Bandits. 2 against 1, the first declared. "You're lost," called the other. "So hand over your things, come on." Well, we would lose everything, that wouldn't be good. 2 against 1 isn't so great either, and our stamina is reduced, so we can't exactly win a fight right now. We can try and reason with them. Not that I think that would work. Can we cast anything? Can we click that? No. Okay. Reason with them? "I don't want any trouble," you declare. The first bandit edges forward, a sword tickling at your chest. "Running you through? No trouble at all. The pack." I don't think we can defend ourselves in this situation, because, well, 10 stamina against 2 guys. On the other hand, they are just villagers. Give him the bag. "I'll give you what I've got." You unstrap the pack slowly, making no sudden movements. We could get a jump on them. This is gonna be suicide, guys. This is gonna be a very short episode, I feel. Lure them close and then attack. One of the bandits makes a grab for the pack, and you use the moment to catch him off guard. Time to put this creature in its place. Oh, they only have 4 stamina. That's not gonna be a big deal. Well, let's go all out and charge. "You should have made things easier for yourself," the bandit goads. You go straight for his throat, knocking him back hard. The smile on his face splits into a cry. The bandit gasps his last as you run him through. No stamina lost, flawless fighting. Okay, that was easy. The second bandit takes one look at his dead colleague and turns and makes a run for it. He may have friends, but we're out of here anyway, right? I think he's had enough. Let him go. You let him go. He will tell others not to try to interfere with Analanders in the future. Turning back to the path, you begin walking once more. After about half an hour, the way becomes an uphill incline. Okay, that went better than expected. Let's climb into the hill. Leaving Cantopani behind marks the true start of the wilderness. Beyond the tiny outpost, there are scattered homesteads and Carrie, a thriving city port. But all are touched by cruelty, isolation, and fear. The backlands and the long shadow cast by Mangpang Fortress darken everything. And with the crown gone, stolen, things can only grow worse. In the long years since Chalana, the Reformer founded the Alliance. In the long years since Chalana the Reformer founded the Alliance, the crown has been passed from kingdom to kingdom every 4 years, ensuring each one has its turn to lead, but no more. Rattlestone, Lenderland, Galantaria, and Bryce have all enjoyed its power, but not Analand. But when the crown came to Analand, it was stolen by birdmen from Xamen and carried off to Mampang. With the crown, the Archmage will be unstoppably powerful. There's no chance of sending an army against him. A military force would not survive the journey. So here you are, a lone hero, walking the long path to Mampang alone. 5 minutes later, you reach a fork in the road. The sergeant, for all his eyesight, hadn't mentioned this. Very well then, a fork in the road. The road splits around the base of a gigantic tree, but does not rejoin on the other side. The tree path winds down into a valley, and the left path winds down into a valley, and the right rises up a slope towards the first thick forest of the hills. Look right. It's hard to see much further uphill. The forest is sudden and thick, and the path narrow. It may be hard going in that direction, but the hills will involve a lot of climbing eventually, and you may get a decent view of the next leg from the top of the ridge. Look left. You pause to consider the lower route. There's a river there, and the path follows the left bank. It is a safer route, secluded and protected, but the curve of the landscape would mean you're almost backtracking. You're about to make a choice when you hear a faint cry from somewhere close at hand. Look around. You look around and then finally up into the branches of the tree. A pair of wizened, calloused feet are dangling down over your head. About to drop on you, perhaps? No, I don't think so. Who's there? You call. The voice cries again, a little more boldly this time. Up here! Help! Help! I can't get down! It is the voice of a feeble, wiry old man. Stepping back a little, you can see him clearly, as thin as sticks and dressed in dirty rags. Oop, jittery. Let's help him down. Swinging yourself onto the lowest branch of the tree, you reach up and grab the old man by the waist. He is as light as a leaf, and within a moment you have lifted him to the ground. Thanks for that, he remarks, brushing himself down and almost knocking himself over in the process. I was just starting to get a bit, perturbed. But I'm on the safe now. He seems remarkably confident, considering that the slightest stumble might break him into bits. What will you do now? You ask. Keep going for Annaland, he says. That's where I set off from, while back now. You wouldn't believe the story if I told you. Suffice to say, though, if I know my eyes from my eyes, you're heading out to Mampang, and you'd better be smarter than I was. And here, he presses a page into your hand. It is a page torn from a spell book. This might be of some use to you. I found this. Just found it, mind. And don't go askew now. But it's no good to me anymore. Guys, I wonder, is that the champion they sent out a while ago? It almost looks like it. Take it. You take the page and thank him. The man falls quiet and squats down on the ground. With his jabbering done, you hear a buzzing sound from high up in the tree. A beehive. Yeah, we're not gonna investigate the beehive, guys. Let's leave and move on, shall we? You must move on. The light is fading already. As the old man dashes off downhill towards Cantopani at a terrific pace, you consider your options. So... I think we're going to go left, guys. Because I don't want to go through this forest here. Going through a forest on yourself in like the outlands or whatever this is doesn't seem like such a great idea, and we already had one bandit encounter. So let's go left, shall we? Let's take the low path. You head into the valley. It seems the safest route, secluded without providing an opportunity for ambush. And no matter how quickly darkness falls, the riverbank will guide your way. The path winds alongside a bubbling stream. You follow it, keeping to the west bank. The valley itself becomes narrower on either hand. A good spot for an ambush. You can only hope that nobody knows you are here. After an hour's walk, you begin to feel hungry. You will need to eat at least once today to keep up your strength. While we are in a perfect spot for an ambush, we let one of the bandits run away so he can possibly get his buddies. And we have to stop and eat. Not great prospects, but let's do it, stop and eat. Taking a seat on the grassy bank above the water, you eat a quantity of your cheese and bread. You rest for half an hour or so and then continue your journey. Okay, I guess nothing happened, that's good. Let's go into the valley. The valley continues and you walk for many hours until the sun begins to set behind the bank and the air grows cool. Now would be the time to find and pitch camp if you intended to sleep before darkness descends completely, but the moon will rise soon enough and you could walk on through the night. Somewhere beyond this valley there are villages with real beds. Now I think we're gonna make camp here. It may not be the safest place and we could reach the village, but probably not before midnight. And I'm kind of worried about our stamina at the moment, so let's just make camp. After a little thought, you decide to stop. In the moonlight, the river will turn black and the way will be hard to find. Better to sleep and set off early tomorrow. You find a group of rocks that form a natural hollow beside the bank of the stream and settle yourself inside, as comfortable a rat in a hole. Eventually you drift off to sleep, soothed by the babbling of the stream. But a short while later you are awakened by a splashing noise. Stay still and listen. Reasoning that you are well hidden by the rocks, you keep your breathing quiet and listen. Creatures, 2 or 3 of them. They are splashing in the stream, perhaps washing, perhaps throwing stone or catching fish. Let's stay low. You stay silent, listening closely. After a while they seem to tire of the game. The valley falls quiet and still once more. I don't think they noticed us. Let's try to sleep. You sigh and attempt to go back to sleep. A moment later, something heavy and hard hits you right in the face. Then everything goes black. Well, crap. Captured! Awesome! Well, maybe they did notice us. Still halfway between sleeping and waking, you feel the presence of your spirit, the ape, close nearby. Its form has changed since you left Annaland, just as you have changed. But it is still walking beside you. In the temple, they taught you that a prayer to your spirit could heal disease, lift curses, even save you from certain death. But the spirits are not generous and decline to help often. You can ask for the spirit's aid using the help button. Oh, the pray button. Yeah, okay. The pray button is... we can see that right now. Where am I? You're tied up on the floor of a hut. And you are not alone. Nearby you hear the scuffle of many feet. Listen. Keeping your eyes closed, you listen carefully. The sound is familiar enough. Elven voices. Elves? I don't know if elves are a problem in this world or if they're the good guys. Open my eyes. You flip open your eyes, taking care to lie still. You see your belongings lying a short distance away in the dirt. Around you patter tiny feet, and a few more feet hover a few inches in the air above the ground. Sit up. You sit up trying to rub your head, but of course you can't. Your hands are tightly bound. Seeing you stir, a creature by the door jumps to its feet, then jumps above its feet and hovers in the air watching you. Release me, I'm your friend. The guard leans out of the doorway and calls sharply. Soon a small crowd has gathered around you. Those are the elves. One of the group, some kind of leader, steps forward. Traveler, he declares, we are creatures of pleasure and enjoyment. It is such a great pleasure to have a visitor in our poor hamlet, so I ask now, how will you entertain us here? They probably know magic better than I do. Like, if these are any kind of traditional elves. But I can sing for them. I will sing for you. The elder frowns deeply. You most certainly will not. Your voice is like a dog's growl to our ears. Wow. Rude. Then let me show you my magic. The chief claps his hand with glee, and so do the others in the crowd. Excellent. Ask them to untie my hands first. Very good, but I cannot weave a spell with my hands tied. The elven consider this for a moment, but quickly decide. One approaches with a knife and holds it close to your face for a few seconds. Then he laughs, rolls you over roughly, and cuts the rope around your wrists. Now, declares the chief, entertain us. Perform a spell. I will show you a spell, the elven chief nods. Cast? What can we cast? Can I take a look at the spellbook right now? Oh, I can't. Wonderful. Or can I? There we go. Okay. Let's see what we have available. What was the flute spell again? Wasn't that some kind... Oh, I can make them dance, right? What's it called? There it is. Jig. Then jig it is. Cast a spell. Can we? Is it available? I need a J. There's a J. That is a J, not an I, right? No, I think I's look differently. What? Oh. Oh, that's how it works. Well, crap. DSGK. Well, DSGK, let's see what we have with those letters. Let's go to the front. Dumb makes them clumsy. Dumb makes them clumsy. When cast at a creature holding an object such as a weapon, the spell will make the creature clumsy and uncoordinated. It will drop the object, fumble to pick it up, and drop it again. Doesn't seem like a mass spell though. Dot will open locked doors, that doesn't help us. We could, if we would have gotten the teeth, if they would have been goblins' teeth, we could have used those, but well. Per the situation, safest way to of escape is desired. The caster will receive a psychic inclination towards one route or a means of defense if one is present. I don't think it's that desperate yet. We can slow them. We can cast an illusion of treasure. Is that dim? Can muddle their minds. DHGK. Don't have that one. Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay. Treasure or clumsy? Treasure or clumsy? I don't know if they're gonna go for treasure, but I've been wrong before in regards to these elves. So let's see if we can... Dumb is a clumsy, okay. What's the treasure? Dud. Dumb or dud? Okay. So D U, well, it's that then, I guess. Let's go for it. Illusion of Treasure, cast. You cast a spell focusing your mind on a large rock in one corner of the hut. Before their eyes, the elven see this rock turn into a mound of glittering treasure. They gasp with delight, smiling happily and congratulating you. Then one of them ventures over to touch the jewels, and as he does so, you release the spell. A great cheer goes up as the treasure pile disappears. An excellent performance, the chief declares. Thank you. You nod your head. But we have kept you from your road, the chief waves for his tribespeople to clear a route to the door, and the little creatures cheer. You gather up your belongings, and they set you on the path out of the village. Well, that could have gotten worse there. So yeah, captured by elves, released. I think we almost saved time. Well, I don't know what time it is right now in the world here, but yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna finish with this, and next time we shall continue on our way to the bridge and to the next village, I suppose, over there. And let's see what this world has in store for us. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying this. So, you know, if you like this, comment, like the video. It helps out with YouTube. I don't really like asking for it, but this is a young channel, and I'm always happy to, you know, get a bigger audience if I can. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Take care, guys, and see you in the next part. Goodbye.